I went ahead and did what so many were afraid to do, which is vote Victor Wembanyama my defensive player of the year. And Rob, I mean, I get it that his team was bad. Okay? Most rookies' teams are bad, or a lot of them. But I am not going to deny him what I think he clearly deserved, which was Defensive Player of the Year, because the team, his rookie year, was bad. Here's one of the things, Rob. When Wembanyama was off the court, the Spurs defense was one of the worst in the league. Bottom 10. When he was on the court, their defense was darn near top 5 in the league. It was a 6-point improvement in their defensive rating. For comparison's sake, Rudy Gobert, who I had second, he's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, probably will win, so soon to be 4. And Anthony Davis, who I had third on my ballot. When Gobert is on the court defensively, there is a 0.7 point change in their defense. When Anthony Davis is on the court, there's a 0.3 point change. So Wemby is making a huge difference. Rob, he had 8 games in which he blocked 7 or more shots this year. The rest of the top 5 shot blockers in the league, Brook Lopez, Chet Holmgren, Anthony Davis, Walker Kessler, they didn't even have that many 7-block games. And not only did he lead the league in blocks, but he also was able to defend out on the perimeter, which is something Anthony Davis, and to an even far worse extent, Rudy Gobert cannot do. And so I think he deserved it. And so I feel I have no problems voting for it.
I have a problem, Chris Broussard, because ratings-wise, Gobert had a better rating. And you could go ahead and talk about the difference between the 9-foot-tall Wemby being on the court and whether or not he changes everything in his block shots. But here's why I disqualify him. And it's not just the record. Because I get it. No one was expecting them to make the playoffs or anything. But if he was really a defensive force, how in the world did the Spurs lose 18 games in a row? 18 games, Chris, if you told me that he affected the game somehow and they won a couple of games that they shouldn't have won because he played this outstanding defense. How in the world could a player on a team that lost 18 games in a row with the Defensive Player of the Year on it, how did they lose 18 games in a row? There's no way he could get my vote on that team. I'm sorry. And he didn't play one meaningful game other than his debut when their record was 0-0. That was the only game that mattered to the Spurs. But other than that, he was just out there playing. Let me go cheat here. It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter if we win any games because it's not about that.
Did you watch him? Was he cheating?
Yeah, I watched him.
He wasn't cheating.
I'm giving
he
you
was playing legitimate
18
basketball.
games in a row.
He wasn't out there just floating around. I'll explain to you. It's not just defense. You got to score too. I don't care who the best defender ever. You got to score. I don't care how you're not shutting anybody out. This isn't baseball.
You can pitch a shutout. Why not?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's not baseball. You have to score points. That was earlier in the season. Obviously, he's still getting his feet wet, but still, 18 losses, 18 losses. But I'm talking about him. This is a team sport, and watching him defensively wreak havoc on the perimeter with his long arms and ability to slide and guard on the perimeter, block shots or make dudes not even take shots. Rob, when he was on the court,
didn't stop them from winning those teams, but he was stopping people from taking shots. Court, but they still won. The other teams.
They did. When he was on the court, the Spurs, he blocked 10% of the opponent's shots. 10%. And he played over 2,000 minutes. My point is, if you don't play a lot, you might be able to do that because obviously, the more you play, the less likely you are to block 10% of the shots. He's the second player since 1986 to do that. The first, Manute Bol. So I'm just saying, this dude did historical stuff. He had the highest combination of blocks and steals, the second highest of the century, behind Ben Wallace, who was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
I bet you Manute Bol's team didn't lose 18 in a row.
Actually, they probably did.
Without even looking it up. I guarantee you they ain't lose no 18 in a row.
So what if it had been 10 in a row, but the record was the same? That would have been better?
Yeah, 18 in a row is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It means he didn't have an impact on winning.
The record is the record.
He had no impact on winning. He didn't.
Yeah, all right.
Chris,
he clearly had an impact. First of all, it's not because the award is not who had the most impact on winning.
No, but my point is his defense wasn't that good.
What do you expect him to do? Hold a team to 50? His defense wasn't that good.
No,
you did not watch the game.
Not enough for him to lose.
You to say that.
Not enough for him to lose 18 games in a row.
You better
That's
clean
what
it
I'm
up.
talking about. 18
that
in a
sounds
row.
ridiculous. If
Chris,
you can sit here on
like
national
18
radio
losses in a row
and
doesn't
say
matter.
Victor Wembanyama's defense wasn't. Hold on, let me fit.
Go ahead.
One of us got to talk. If you can sit here on national radio and say Victor Wembanyama's defense wasn't good, you clearly didn't watch any games.
I said wasn't good to stop them from losing 18 in a row. And that is my point. Chris, that tells you about your vote, that you didn't look into the whole thing about.
I did look into it.
No, I'm asking you about the 18 in a row didn't bother you at all.
No.
I'm asking you. Okay.
Because it's more than defense. If it was 3-on-3 like they used to play, the girls used to play in Iowa when I lived there, and one side only played defense, maybe it'd be different. Heck, he could have blocked 20 shots, held the team to 30% shooting, and you still could lose. You have to score.
So you're an analytics guy now. Winning doesn't
matter. No, it's not about
analytics.
I gave traditional numbers too. The shot blocking, three and a half blocks a game. Blocking 10% of the shot. Now that's an analytic, but it's based off a traditional
I'm just
stat.
asking. You just change it on me. That gray hair.
No, I take analytics into consideration. But seeing that he blocked more shots, like I said, more 7-block games than the rest of the top 5 shot blockers in the league combined, that's not analytics. That's a traditional stat. The dude was awesome. You watch a game and see.
Guess what? Guess what? Your vote goes for not because everybody knows Mary.
But I don't vote.
Mary, you know what?
I don't vote.
It's not Wemby. Everyone knows it's not Wemby.
See, that's the difference. You vote, you must follow the crowd. Because I vote who I think deserves it. I don't vote who everybody else gonna vote for. I mean, I may if I feel like it deserves it, but I don't say, you know what, Jokic is gonna win MVP. Let me just vote for him.
No, it's fine.
I actually vote for who I think is gonna win.
I got you.
Or who I think should win.